All right. So our agenda for today, for those who are new, we have to go through the core elements of Manime. That way you guys know where we're coming from.
I'll give you a little base reference to see what we're comparing everything against.
And for everyone else, including the new guys, we'll be doing a healthy dose of Manime news because a lot of cool stuff's happened in the past year. We'll also be talking about a series that's out right now called JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Started as news. You know, if you guys have been to the panel, you've known we talked about it before, so we have to talk about the new one.
You have absolutely no idea how happy I am that I'm not the only person that is anymore.
We're also going to do a fun segment called Things Men Need to Do More. If you guys have heard of our 12 Laws of True Man or How to Date a Real Man for the ladies, well, you'll enjoy this.
And if you feel compelled to do them and you're not a man, go for it.
We also have the Manime Hall of Fame Class of 2014, something we've been doing for years, where we take specific manly anime of high quality, showcase that to you guys, and put it in our illustrious Hall of Fame.
And unfortunately, if you guys have not heard, this is the last Manime panel that we will be doing for at least a year. No. We're not breaking up or anything.
We'll see how it goes. Even Kenshiro had to go away for a little bit, guys.
That's true. Our goal is to bring you guys the highest quality content that we can. We just need some time to get it ready for a better 2.0, like coming back like Sting out of nowhere.
Yes!
Yes!
Yes! Yes! Yes! Yes! Yes! Yes!
Moving along.
And last but not least, we'll have headbutts, beef jerky, and some manly roars. Can I get a manly roar right now, guys? Well done. The other reason why we do this panel is because a lot of people that go to this convention like absolute shit.
Yeah! We kind of eat high-octane gasoline for breakfast, and this is just a little bit too much estrogen for us.
Like mainstream geek media is at an all-time low. Everything about this is absolutely terrible. Don't know why people like this garbage. We're not even going to talk about it. We're not even going to say what it is. It is what it is. We're going to move on because you guys want good shit, right? Yeah! Right. And also, in the realm of anime, people still like shitty anime.
Because we have to alienate as many people as possible.
Yeah, I mean, Japan's been making some really good stuff, but you guys are still watching this crappy MMO, anime garbage, unacceptable. Maybe not you guys, but there are people still doing it.
You guys watched Sword Art Online, didn't you? You did.
Yeah. Okay. Without further ado, I think it's time for the core elements of Manime.
I think I'll start. We're going to start with the core elements of violence and tragedy. If it is Manime, it has these, and it has them for good reasons. Because badass men live violent, and unfortunately we live tragic lives, but it makes us stronger every time.
And in the realm of violence, you have to have bones breaking, bodies exploding, gallons of blood just flying everywhere. You got to have that aspect of violence in anime.
Like Quentin Tarantino levels.
Yeah, I like that. And even in the realm of tragedy, every hero that we've talked about has to lose something in order to become better.
Human perseverance, friends.
Absolutely. Speaking of which, self-sacrifice is a huge aspect of the realm of anime. You gotta like pretty much put it all on the line and give something up to help your fellow man. In this case right here, Ray, his boy Kenshiro helped him out earlier, and he wanted to like pretty much return the favor by sacrificing himself against Rao to give Kenshiro the chance to, you know, survive. That's a pretty big deal.
And as far as shouldering burdens, God gave you upper and lower lumbar so you could carry your friends around when they need you.
Then there's manly tears. You guys remember True Male Law number 10, correct?
Yes!
All right.
Oh, we're going to have to post those.
Hold on, for this guy right here, how does it go? How does True Male Law number 10 go?
If you're gonna cry, cry with your eyes open.
All right, very correct. If you're gonna cry, never, and I mean ever, close your eyes, not even once. You must always keep them open, as demonstrated by Joseph Joestar and Kenshiro. And then we talked about the anatomy of a anime character. The body, the look of a anime character is incredibly important.
Who knows who that guy is?
We talked about him a couple years ago.
Wow, yeah.
Well, wow, we'll have to redo some material in the future.
Material, guys.
That guy's awesome. That's from a manga series called Tough. It's about mixed martial arts. You all should read it.
Imagine if Naruto grew up to be a complete and total fucking badass. That's what that's about.
Anyway, starting off with the face, you gotta have the potato-shaped head. You gotta have those thick, menacing eyebrows. Sometimes no eyebrows. That works very well.
Yeah, that guy's a true badass. That guy's actually designed after Sean fucking Connery from 007. Goal 13, deadly motherfucker.
Oh yeah, and bonus points if you're sporting a nice manly beard. All right, guys? Where are our beard owners at? There's a few in the crowd. Very good.
Yeah, the rock solid jawline, sometimes with more muscles that are humanly possible. Go for that, I recommend it.
And then you got the physique rather. You gotta have this big, bulging body that's built like a Sherman tank, a weapon of mass destruction, if you will. Am I right?
Now, we're not saying that to be manly yourselves, you have to shoot for this goal. But we are saying to be manly yourselves, you have to shoot for this goal.
I think that covers the core elements of Manime. About some more later.
Brian Freeman, that's good.
But first, you are Manime News! Yeah! Manime News. So this is our segment where we actually talk about things that are relevant to the world of Manime. It's actually going to be pretty light this year. Nobody died, nothing new coming out.
Nobody died!
Yeah, nobody died! That was good. Somebody died last year. That sucked ass.
We did like deaths two years in a row. That was terrible.
Yeah, unfortunate. But hey, there's a bunch of new releases that you can get. All this is available on DVD. You can actually buy some of this in the dealer room, so get some anime that you can watch at home anytime you want.
And they're coming out in volumes and shit.
Yeah, you can get like Mad Bull 34 in the dealer room tomorrow at the Discotheque booth.
25, 30 bucks?
It's 20 bucks. It's pretty cool.
What's every
The price
penny?
is inconsequential.
Oh yeah, it is worth every penny. Mad Bull 34 is amazing. There's also even Toriko, which we talked about before. Speaking of which, the Toriko anime ended earlier this year, at least for now. We actually talked about it in our second year of the panel.
Has anybody kept up with Toriko? Toriko fans?
So I gave up on it.
All right, I read it and watched it longer than you did. We picked it up as a really good incumbent, like really high potential to be like god tier anime, and it didn't quite, in my opinion, it didn't quite reach the god tier like Fist of the North Star or any of that. But it wasn't exactly like, you know, damn crap tier either.
Well, I don't know, my issue is I just got bored with it. It is what it is. The anime adaptation's not that great.
Dude cuts his fucking face in half to eat more awesome.
Well, that part's bad. Zebra is the best character in Toriko by far, but like, I don't know.
Watch it. I think it's worth the time.
So what's up with this? Did he like become Goku at the end?
It was a dark place, kids.
Alright, well speaking of dark places, so for those of us who are Fist and North Star fans, we should be cringing in pain right now.
Fuck this show.
This is called DD Hokuto no Ken 2. It's on Crunchyroll. It's absolutely terrible. You have Kenshiro and cat ears and cat whiskers.
Yeah,
the idea is if 1990X never happened, the Hokuto brothers would have to live everyday normal life, except they don't know how. They only know how to ta-ta-ta-ta.
Personally, I think that this situation is just completely nullified because we're looking at like 3 world leaders right there had there been no apocalypse.
Yeah.
What the hell?
I don't know, but anyways, they have to resort to dressing themselves up as abandoned pets or whatever so they can find shelter. This is absolutely worse than everything that Michael Bay has done to anything.
Yes, this is more horrible than the Transformers movie.
Fuck this show!
Don't clap. No! Okay.
No!
Skip.
No.
Let's get to something
next up.
else to take out the.
How about video games? Who likes video games? Alright, one of these games from the video game room, that's not enough, but you can actually buy video games based on all these awesome manly animes. Who's got JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle?
Yeah!
Awesome game right there.
It would be nice if they told us that was coming out in English now, wouldn't it?
Yeah. There's also Fist of the North Star Ken's Rage 2, covering the whole shebang.
If you like Dynasty War, get it.
Just get it. There's even a Sake Gaki Otoko Juku fighting game.
And it's not impossibly hard to find.
And last but not least is J-Stars Versus, which has Kenshiro, Rao, Momotaro, and 2 of the Joestars, Joseph and Jonathan Joestar. Did I say Rao was in there?
No, yeah, you did.
Alright, cool. So there you go. You have all those characters. They can beat up Naruto. They can beat up that guy from Bleach. It's awesome.
Did you say it had the first 2 Joestars in it?
Yeah, Jonathan and Joseph.
I mean, it'd be nice if, like, say maybe the 3rd series got some love or something.
I know. Speaking of which, why don't we talk about that?
けのする悪はわかる。悪とはてめえ自身のためだけに弱者を利用し踏みつける奴のことだ。ましてや女を。貴様がやったのはそれだ。ああ、おめえのスタンドは被害者自身にも法律にも見えねえしわからねえ。だから俺が裁く。悪、それは違うな。悪とは敗者のこと、正義とは勝者のこと。生き残った者のことだ。家庭は問題じゃない。負けたやつが悪なのだ。とどめ食らえ。何？敗者が悪。エメラルド。それじゃあやっぱり。何？バカだ。エメラルドスプラッシュを弾き飛ばした。てめえのことじゃねえか。
Alright, so that is Dust Crusaders, which is out now. It comes out every Friday during lunchtime on Crunchyroll. It's awesome.
This series is just a breath of fresh air. I'm so happy with this. It was like, hey, you watching something badass like a year ago? Like, no. Now it's like, what are you watching this Friday? It's like, shut the fuck up, come with me in my house. To random strangers on the street, it doesn't go well with the police, so let me tell you.
We've talked about JoJo's in the past. This is a new adaptation of a story that we all know and love. It's very good.
This should be the most well-known.
But we talked about the we talked about the remake of the first two series last year.
It was
so the main thing, Dio's back.
See what we did there? Dio's back.
That was not
who do we need to explain about Dio? Nobody?
He's a fabulous vampire that came back from impending death, and now he's going to take it out on the new generation of the Joestar family, which is held by Jotaro Kujo, who's currently in jail when this series starts.
He starts off in jail because he's afraid that the demon he's possessed by will wreck people, but he
as
really
you just saw in the video.
Yes, and which he does, and it's awesome.
But anyways, he's encouraged to get up by his grandpappy, Joseph Joestar. Baddest ass granddaddy in all of anime.
Joseph Joestar and his Nazi robot hand.
Anyhow, he convinces Jotaro Kujo to get out of jail and he explains what this goddamn thing he has behind him is called a stand.
Yes, introduction to stands, which if you're going to continue watching the show, you better get used to these because they're around.
It's kind of like, well, they're kind of like psychological familiars that manifest out of each different being that has them. They're all unique depending on the character. Sometimes they can be actual humanoid people. Sometimes they can be a boat. They can be a car. They can be a gun.
Bugs,
it's awesome.
Dinosaurs, they're crazy.
Well, that's later on.
Anybody you guys play Persona? Any of the Persona games? Same damn thing. It's literally
Persona ripped this shit off.
Stands are described in the books and by Hiraki himself as a physical manifestation of your psyche or id. It says you can call them out, only stand users can see them. So it's a big shift from martial artists using like super breathing to just like, hey, we're psychics, and then there's a, oh, I can't say that. That's not gonna happen for like 2 series.
Anyways, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Anyways, Jotaro Kujo's out of jail. He's hanging out at the crib, and all of his family members have stands, which becomes a problem.
And his dad's like, Japan sucks.
Anyways, yeah, his granddad hates Japan. Anyways, that's another story for another day. Anyways, Jotaro's mother, or Joseph's daughter,
Joseph
has a stand, but she's got a pure heart. And because of that pure heart, she is not able to survive, so she has a very limited amount of time to live. and they decide that they will travel to find Dio Brando and kill him so that his mother may live. And he's got buddies to help him along the way. So they form this RPG-like party. They travel from place to place.
No, seriously, Hiraki's goal is actually to form an RPG party. Like, straight up, like, I want these guys, like, an actual party from RPGs, because, you know, Final Fantasy was a thing at the time.
Yeah, they travel from Japan to Egypt, but it's not going to be so easy because Dio Brando has sent many assassins, about maybe 237 of them, to kill the Joestars and their buddies so they don't get to Egypt, because Dio knows what will happen if they make it to Egypt.
How many assassins?
237, but one at a time, not all at the same time, which would have made sense.
It's 26.
Anyhow, basically these guys are going to travel and the assassins are going to go after them, and they're going to handle all the situation.
やつが後ろからどうやって回り込んだんだ。ものすげえ馬力で押してきやがる。戦車かこのパワーは。もうダメだ。みんな車を捨てて脱出しろ。トルナルフ、ドライバーがみんなより先に運転席を離れるか普通は誰が踏ん張るんだ。ハイエロファントフレイやめろ。ハイエロファントにはこの重量を支えきるパワーはない。体がちぎれ飛ぶぞ。ジョースターさん、お言葉ですが僕は自分を知っている。バカではありません。車のワイヤーを位置を掴んで飛んでいたのか。やるな佳境に。ところでお前相撲は好きか。特に土俵際の駆け引きを手に汗握るよな。相撲大好きですよ。だけど丈太郎、拳で殴るのは反則ですね。
So the deal with Polnareff is that he's French. That's pretty much the root of all his problems.
You understand?
Right. So anyways, he's bad at driving and Kakyoin doesn't put up with that crap. Look at that elbow just buried right into his face. That's how you do it.
It's a grind right there.
Anyways, speaking of Polnareff, he has his own issues as well. Prior to the Jotaro Kujo story happening, his sister was killed and raped by some guy with 2 right hands. And he's like, I want to find this guy and kill him.
His name is Jago?
Yeah, his name is Jago. He doesn't know that yet. But Dio's like, I'll hook you up with the information to kill the Joestars. And he tries that, doesn't work, so he joins up with them on his quest to find this man and kill him. And he gets his divine retribution eventually. But on the way, he loses a friend that he makes on the trip. And like I said, manly tears are shed. And that's going to be whipped afterwards.
We don't want you to think that Polnareff, Jean-Pierre Polnareff, is the series Krillin, because there isn't one. Even though he's more of a comic relief character, which we get another one later, he's still a badass. Like, he stomps people mercilessly, and even though he's not as smart as Jotaro Kujo, who's a damn Matlock-ass genius, he's still a badass, and he holds his weight the entirety of the series, especially when stuff really goes down later. And he doesn't like
Alright, so the context of this, getting right ahead, we want to teach you guys some life lessons while we do this panel. Yeah, this life lesson is how to deal with pocket thieves. You might lose some stuff at the convention, this is how you deal with it.
財布を盗めると思ったのか、このビチクソが。ぶちかきだ。かきょい。この声だめで生まれたゴ キブリのチンボコ野郎なくせに俺の財布はその死の穴吹いた指で見ろなんてよこいつはめちゃ許さんよな
That's how you do it, man.
Yes, we highly recommend that you put anyone that steals from you in a torture rack.
And just keep doing it until they're coughing up blood.
It's super effective.
That'll teach you to never do that again. So that's a nice life tip from us. We'll have some more later on tonight.
Yes, we will.
Anyways, JoJo's. Wait, go ahead. Yeah. So JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, like we mentioned before, is available on Crunchyroll. This is a screen cap a few days ago of the popular rankings of anime on Crunchyroll.
There's multiple things that are horrifying.
Alright, I'm going to point out some. First off, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, number 11, not number 1. 2, I see that Free is ranked higher than JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. That's the anime about guys in speedo swimming.
That ain't right, folks.
You know what else is messed up? The poor man's One Piece is ranked higher than One Piece. And worst of all, who the fuck still watches Naruto?
What the fuck is that?
Why is that number 1?
Well, even though the answer is like the majority.
Who are these people? Why? It's like a form of masochism. You might as well take a hammer and smash it against your head. You're gonna lose as many brain cells. Might as well just do it cheaper, you know?
You might say that Kent is a purist in his anime. Just say it.
Wait, Sword Art Online is number 2?
What? Sword Art Online is out there? That show fucking sucks!
Who watches that show still? Anybody? Does anybody in this room watch Sword Art Online?
Your taste is bad and you should feel bad. That's what I say. Moving right along. Alright, so JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
If you're a fan of fluffy animals, there's none in this series.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is going to be going on for quite a while longer. It's been doing so well in Japan that they're going to add up many more episodes, and that's exciting.
This one's got 50 total episodes.
It's going to be 50-something episodes. It's going to be awesome. And then you're going to get Iggy in just a few weeks. Iggy's going to make his debut.
Who's a punk rock? Fan? Anybody a fan of punk rock?
Cool.
Yes, this character is named after Iggy Pop. His stand is the Fool.
Yeah!
A dog with a stand, guys!
A dog with a stand. You'll probably invest a lot more in coffee gum, too. You'll understand soon.
So JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, very awesome. Jotaro Kujo is an amazing character. He's Hirohiko Araki's homage to Clint Eastwood. You should all know who that guy is. And it's pretty much JoJo's Bizarre Adventure finding its own identity. In the past, it was pretty much his version of Fist of the North Star. Now JoJo's Bizarre Adventure becomes its own thing. It's going to be very cool moving on.
He did the opposite of M. Night Shyamalan. No, seriously.
Alright, so we have this thing called Dinks Mention Do More. And by the way, we have these things called man cards.
Yeah! Hold them up! Who's got them?
If you're man enough, lots of people out in the crowd have, if you're man enough to handle the rest of this panel, you will get one of these at the end from one of our lovely assistants up front. It'll help out. Alright, good.
I think I'll kick this one off.
Yeah, kick it off, Sean.
As an experienced mechanic myself, man, you should fix your own damn car. There should not be any time where you're broke down on the side of the road and someone has to stop and help you change a tire. That is disgraceful. Serious.
You should also be able to say fuck you to your boss every now and then. Who had a hard time getting time off from work to be at AFO this weekend? Exactly. You should have just told your boss to go fuck yourself. Hey, I'm gonna be at Anime Festival. Am I right, guys?
Some of it's an investment in their future. You should solve problems with violence. All right. We know that violence is not the answer, but you have to get it wrong on purpose sometimes.
You also have to do heroic deeds, taking a page out of Fist of the North Star. That is Shu. He has tendons ripped in his legs. They're bleeding. He's carrying the top of a pyramid on his back so he can prevent little children from being killed.
Celebrate stick.
What is beef jerky?
Who remembers True Man Law number 4? Young lady. What?
True Man Law 4 is man's candy is called
Bacon!
Alright, no last thing, but this is gonna have to do.
This is why they hate us.
Jerky at this panel, along with man cards. That's better than half the stuff, at least 90% of the stuff at this con. Look at Sean right here. The other thing you guys need to do more is trade. They have a gym here. They have a gym here right at this hotel. I've been hitting it every morning. I've been inviting people with me to go, and I've seen nobody there except for the yoga chick. I know she's here.
She's your friend. Her name is Lacey.
I don't want to out her identity in front of people. We know her. Anyways, tomorrow morning I better see you all at the gym at the hotel before you pack up and get out of here.
Don't get distracted by the ice cream. I know it's tough. Go straight to the gym.
Jim Beam!
I like that gym too.
We eat ice cream while we train.
All right, listen to more metal. No. That's not how you say.
Listen to more metal!
Excuse me.
You should also German suplex more. Solves many problems. It goes back to solving problems with violence. The German suplex is a very effective way to do such a thing. Look at that bridge. That is an excellent bridge, by the way.
That's why he gets the job!
Yeah, that's how he got a job.
Oh, thank you, please.
Suit up! You have to be dressed up every now and then.
Gentlemen, do you own a suit? You should. Go get one.
Yeah. Get it at a good place, not fucking Walmart.
You should grow a beard.
Grow a fucking beard. Look at that guy. That's Kenshiro. He's awesome. He's got a beard.
He's not a hobo, he's a bat.
Grow a beard!
He's got a beard. That guy has one.
Goddamn right!
And put him up. Live life without a shred of regret. Who knows who that badass is? Say it again.
Very awesome. So those are the things that men should do more. Make sure you remember all that and, live life like a man. All right, so we're going to talk about anime again. You guys ready to hear about some anime? So as a recap, over the previous 4 years we've done this panel, we've talked about all these manly anime and manga. All good stuff. You might want to get a snapshot in case you haven't already, but we might upload this on the interwebs for you all to see.
We will upload this on the internet for you.
Those are 17 different things for you guys to enjoy. There's enough manly anime and manga to last a lifetime, so why are you guys watching Naruto?
That's some heavy accusations there, Ken.
Takes about the same amount of time.
Anyways, we're going to talk about the Hall of Fame class of Manime 2014, and we're going to start off pretty good. It's actually a series that we've been meaning to talk about for a few years now. It's actually kind of recent, and it's a different take on everything we cover. We usually cover over-the-top action stuff. This is more of a drama, however, it embodies all the things we talked about as far as the core elements of Manime.
ってんのか先輩よ6対1じゃどう見たって勝ち目はねえんだぜ何がおかしいんだこら
確かにてめえらみてえなのが何人死のうが誰からも文句は出ねえよくそてめえら人暴れしねえと気が済まねえんだろうかかってこいよボクシングボクシングそれがどうしたこっちはこれ以上これ以上舐められるわけにはいかねえんだどうしたおじけづいたか殺してやれ
Criminal 7 of Compound 2, Cell 6. So it's an anime about these boys that have been sent to prison because of crimes they have committed.
Well, first of all, this takes place just like right after World War II, so it's a period piece. And if you know your history, Japan was not the best place to live in World War II. A lot of these guys were orphaned or from crappy homes, and they got themselves in some unfortunate situation that led them being put into a juvenile detention center, which at the time is almost a death sentence. They were really bad places, a lot of them. And some of them were known for drumming up charges to keep people in there for cheap labor. And then they talk about stuff like that. And it's just about these guys trying to survive and do the best they can in a really, really bad situation. Like one of these guys lost his family in the atomic bomb blast.
Yeah, brother,
and it was
sister,
like a lot
and
of
parents.
guilt about it.
I think there's another case where one of them, his nickname is Joey. Him and his sister were pretty much abandoned at an orphanage by his mother. Told them to wait there when they were kids. They never came back.
And it's implied that they might be like half race kids.
Yeah. Another guy, his mother had to work had to prostitute herself to this really shady guy in order to make ends meet, and he abused her, so he whooped his ass and went to jail for that.
And then one guy doesn't even deserve to be there, but
there's a couple guys that don't deserve to be there at least. But anyways, these guys go through some serious shit. They're pretty much abused daily. When they're first brought into prison, they're pretty much...
Yeah, episode 1 of this show lets you know immediately, hey, we're not fucking around, because the first thing that they have to do is get inspected to see if they've snuck any weapons in their ass. So the way that you apparently do that is to get a glass rod
and shove it right up there
where you don't want it. So, and these were things that happened. So the grittiness comes from the reality of the series. It's very, very real.
These guys are the despicable villains of our particular series. Dr. Sasaki, who does that inspection, he is a pedophile. He's got some serious issues going on in his head. He has a deal where he likes to have young, pretty boys be brought to his quarters.
That's not a spoiler. They make this horribly...
Yeah, from the get-go, they actually, frown down upon pedophilia. They pretty much criminalize it in this particular series.
They pretty much criminalize pedophilia in the series, Ken. Think about what you said there.
Yeah, well, I'm not trying to do that pun, but this guy, Ishihara, he's a guard with a chip on his shoulder. So he helps out Dr. Sasaki with getting those boys over in exchange for drugs and stuff like that. So the whole system's corrupt.
It's like The Shining on crack after, well actually it was before World War II.
So these guys, you want to go down really badly from the get-go, especially Ishihara.
Yes, they are excellent villains. They are like Joffrey level, horrible bastard villains. Like, they're written really well.
So we talked about some of the stuff that's gone on. It's actually interesting. Like at the beginning of every episode, they put this disclaimer up to let you know that hey, we're gonna be real in this particular series. There's gonna be some explicit stuff, and we're not gonna hold back.
I like how the explicit is in red for that extra emphasis, because the glass rod wasn't enough to tell you the show was ridiculous.
One of the main characters. There's actually 7 main characters in total, but the one that is like set as the alpha dog or alpha male of this particular group is Sakuragi, who was nicknamed Aniki, or bro, by his peers. And in that opening clip, you see him rough up the other prisoners when they show up. But like right after, he offers them all a smoke, and they start bonding together, and he serves as their mentor and helps them out in a variety of situations. Like when this cell actually catches on fire, he runs right in to help save them.
Yeah, it doesn't even stop.
He just goes right in.
At great cost to himself.
He does not care if he gets burned, and he does get burned, but he wants to help his buddies survive, so he goes that far ahead to do that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And there's also Joey wants to be reunited with his sister. They were separated when he was put in jail. He wants to go back to the orphanage to bail her out. So they arranged this elaborate trick to get him running away out of prison. But they know that when this ruse is up, they're going to get their asses beaten and put in solitary. But you know what? They go through it anyways because they support their bros. That's one of the main themes of this particular series, always backing up your buddies, no matter what the situation is.
The whole rainbow thing, at the very beginning, it's got like a screamo metal song, but the beginning of the show, as far as the intro goes, is them carving their name, or like their dreams that they want to accomplish into this tree under the promise that they'll come back years later and like live up to this dream. And even this one scene, they're just taking a break from work and just talking about whatever. But like, you can see the really, really solid bond between these characters, and they form like a family that some of them had never had before.
Hey, Ken, I just want to point this out. Right after World War II, America, not to demonize America or anything, but this type of show would never have flown in Japan
Oh, yeah,
after
like-
the occupation. This
like
type of
Barefoot
show
Gen,
was
you've seen that.
completely against American occupation. Not to demonize America, but right now, if you can watch this stuff, watch it. It gives you an idea of what Japan was going through during American occupation after World War II and the hardships they had to go through. And it's fucking amazing because those guys, they had to live through this stuff, and the strength they gained through that brotherhood is so powerful.
Who is aware of Barefoot Gen? You've seen it, you know what it's about? That was banned. He wasn't allowed to put it out for years because they didn't want hatred towards American troops.
All right, let's move right along. So anyways, at one point, Aniki's about to get out of prison, but the guys who run it, Dr. Sasaki Ishikawa, they want him dead because he knows some secrets about how they're running stuff in there, and he's got proof to back it up in the form of a suicide note. So they want him dead, and they're doing everything possible to make that happen. They actually put him in a cell with some really dangerous dudes that they're giving full reign to pretty much beat on him until he's dead. And he keeps taking his licks each day because he's not going to fight back because he wants to get out of prison without any charges being put against him. So
he endures like water torture.
Yeah, one of the guys, Mario's like, he finds out about this and he wants to fight the dudes, but they pretty much gang up on him and they smash his hand with a rock, which is bad news because he has dreams of being a boxer. If you have a broken hand, you can't box.
Yeah, he realizes that he might have got him in even more trouble, so he shows up and tells the guys like, take it out on me. He's getting out in a couple days. Do whatever you want. And they're like, fine. Break his hand. And it is not pretty.
By the way, Sakuragi finds out about this, and he pretty much lays waste to these guys so badly that they refuse to tell the warden what actually happened because they're afraid of getting their asses kicked again by the guy. And that's pretty badass.
He rolls him over, and the dude's like, what happened? He's like, nothing.
But like pretty much after this point, they're like, let's try to turn up the fucking tempo. And then when that happens, his buddy's like, you know what? Let's just break him out of prison a few days early, just so he lives. This takes us this really awesome clip right here.
これであんちゃんは助かる。そうだよな、マリオ。
そうだ、あんちゃんはこれで自由だ。
They finally get him out of prison, but there's like some other trials that happen along the way. Like we mentioned, tragedy is a huge part of manly anime. That definitely happens in the series. Everything that we've mentioned as far as core elements show up in the series in one way or another. But there is life after prison. These guys have to accomplish their goals, like we mentioned before. Mario wants to be a boxer. Scan wants to be like this really intelligent rich guy. Soldier wants to join.
Whatever you said.
And Joe has become a famous singer, so he can actually find his sister and reunite with her once and for all. So these guys all have their goals and they have their struggles. Like, Skip has to pretty much learn that you cannot fall in love with a prostitute, and that happens because Soldier keeps beating some sense into him until he finally realizes that.
Literally.
Yeah. Turtle, he tries to like make some money by being a low-interest moneylender, and his first task is to get money back from a guy who owes it. So he does it by biting through his leg, which is pretty awesome.
That dude's he's a hardcore hustler to begin with.
And then Mario pretty much, he's a bartender and some guy's causing a ruckus, breaking bottles, and Mario's like, you better pay back. The guy's like, nope. Mario's like, all right, I'm gonna beat your ass. But the guy snitches, and Mario gets arrested, they find out all this stuff about him, and they want to put him in prison for 7 years, and all his buddies were like, no, that cannot happen, we gotta figure something out.
Yeah, you heard, he mentioned a character we haven't really seen before, Soldier, the guy that wants to join the Japanese Defense Force, who is a badass, and he goes on this little mission, and he goes about it his own way, which I believe is...
Yeah, they're trying to get the guy that accused Mario of the crime to sign some papers saying that, you know what, I fucked up and I deserve my ass whooping. So Quit.
何？あのクソガキを助けろってのか。
マリオ、反省してるんです。
反省だと？正真正なんか知るかよ。
あなたにも非がないとは言えないんじゃないですか。
ふざけるな！こっちは大怪我させられてんだ。何が大怪我じゃ。ピンピンしとるじゃねえか。なんだと？
この通りです。このままじゃ奴は何年も刑務所に行くことになっちまうんです。お願いします。情けをかけてやってください。
要するにこれに署名すりゃいいんだな。冗談じゃねえ。誰が署名なんてするかよ。この野郎！
やめろ、スッポン。あなたマリオに先に2発殴らせてもらったそうですね。
ああ？何が言いたいんだてめえ。
マリオが2発なら俺は3発だ。どうしたよ小暮さん、そんなのレイプして倒せると思ってんのかい。言っとくが俺はマリオみたいにやわじゃねえぞ。きっちり倒さなきゃ今度は怪我くらいじゃ済まねえぜ。
貴様、
さてとあと一発だ。
なめやがって。本気でやっちまうぞ。てめえ来とねえぞ。
なるほどな。道具を使わねえと俺は倒せねえな。なあ小暮さんよ、来いや腰抜け。
どうだ参ったかクソガキ。やろう。
待てスッポン。なあ小暮さんよ、俺がこのまま被害届出したらあんたどうなっちまうんだろうな。言っとくが俺は一つも手を出しちゃいねえ。ただの喧嘩で済む話じゃねえよな。前がなくても2年は実刑を食らう。刑務所は地獄だぜ。さあ証明しろ。俺はマリオを何としてでも助け出す。自分の体で耐えなきゃバズーカでもカービンでも何でも出す。そのために兵隊やってるんだ。
So check that out. He takes a beer bottle to the head to get his buddy out of jail. How can you not respect that?
He straight up takes a concussion that he knows he's gonna get just to get that sign. It's like he's in the hospital bedridden after this happens.
Yeah, so these guys are pretty much going all out to help each other out, get through these hard times, to become, civilized people after, they go through prison.
All these characters are that badass.
Yeah, they all grow, they all evolve. It's a really amazing story. There's also a little funny tidbit where they get approached by the Yakuza to join up with them. Other than guys, that's a manly business, so I have to add that in there. But in all seriousness, Rainbow, that's the series we really wanted to push the most out of everything we're talking about tonight. So we hope you all check it out. Funimation has it all on their YouTube channel to watch. It's a great show. You can watch it for free, right on YouTube, right after this panel. So I highly recommend giving it a shot. It's a really good series. Question back there.
It's finished. It's been finished.
Yeah, it's been finished. It came out in 2010. 26 episodes. Yeah, 26. All right, moving right along. We're gonna do it down and up. We're doing manly comedy. Who likes manly comedy?
いいからさ、ちょっと付き合えよ。
やめてください。
いいじゃねえか。
いい加減にしないと人を呼びますよ。
いいぜ、呼べるもんなら呼んでみろよ。周りを見な。通行人は見て見ぬふりだぜ。この辺は俺らの縄張りだ。みんなビビって逆らえに。誰も助けちゃくれねえぜ。諦めな。威勢のいい女だ。たっぷり可愛がってやる。なんだその人話しなさい。なんだてめえは。一個みんなバイクに乗りやがってよ。俺らを誰だと思ってんだろうな。 思うなよ。少々痛いものを見ないとわからないようです。では2発目に入ります。こいつ切れてやがるぜ。信じられねえことしやがる。とりあえず逃げろ。お前じゃない。言ってしまいましたか。
ありがとうございました。せめてお名前を。
いえ、名乗るほどのものではありません。ようやく警察が見えたようですね。
Alright, so Sakigake, go Marty High. I know some people have been waiting years for us to talk about this, and you know what, we figure we do it right now. This is pretty much one of the roughest schools in all of Japan.
A school literally full of the most horrible delinquents and degenerates that they could find, and that guy.
That guy, Kamiyama, is the most normal person ever because he believes that if he can pretty much succeed in any school, so he's going to go to the roughest one to prove that. And somehow he ends up becoming the leader of this class that he's in. But even crazier than these guys are these guys. Yeah, Mekazawa, a robot that nobody in the class knows a robot is a robot except for a couple people because they're dumb. Then you have a gorilla who's a student at Cromartie High. And then you have this beefy guy with a mustache who goes by the name of Freddy.
Well, when he shows up, they're talking about like there's this badass in this other class. And he's like, well, I'll go check him out. And he opens the door. And then the door opens, it's like, whee! And he just closes the door, comes back, he's like, I got it. He's like, what are we gonna call him? He's like, Freddy? And they're like, why? Oh, Freddy, yeah. And they have like Freddie Mercury, like, oh!
That's the guy from Queen, for those of you too young to get the reference.
No, seriously, you should probably leave if you don't get the reference.
But anyhow, Freddy has a big black horse that looks very much like the horse that Rao rides on.
He's never worn a shirt. He is always in the slacks and suspenders.
He also never talks, which makes him even more of an interesting character because he just emotes physically, and you really don't know what he's thinking. He just shows up randomly and does stuff, and they're like, okay, whatever.
But he's there if you want to take on someone's game.
Absolutely, if you want to fight a motherfucker, he'll be there for you.
Straight up, out of nowhere.
So these guys get in some crazy situations. So Kamiyama is picked as a club or school leader because he is the normal guy in a room full of delinquents, much like what would happen if you had a rabbit in a room full of lions. And it wasn't a thing at all. He shows no fear when surrounded by these guys, so he must be a badass according to the rest of the people in this class.
That's their exact analogy, by the way, because when they're picking everybody out, they're just like, let's pick this guy. They're like, no, like the one guy that's just like here, like, and he's just normal about everything. And when they look at him, he's sitting over there like, yeah, you lead.
So this series is also is inspired by a particular manly anime called Sakigake Tokojuku, which is Real Man High School. You all should watch it. This is the third panel that has happened today at AFO that has mentioned the series, so get on that. You have to torrent it, of course, but you know, it's a really good show.
It seems like this panel is working.
Yes. Anyways, these guys get into really dangerous situations, including this one right here. What are you doing? Go back.
Well, go back.
Alright, hit that.
Oh. No, whoa.
Come on, Shane.
There we go.
This is how you handle these losses.
俺たちここで生き絶えていくのかよ。もっとこれからやりたいことがいっぱいあったのによ。
例えばだな。いや、無理に探さなくてもいいよ。
俺たちまだ16歳だぜ。こんな最後を迎えるのかよ。
一体どうしたらいいんだ。
すいません。またラーメン大盛りですか。
お客さん、おとといから朝昼晩ずっと来てますね。一体どこに住んでるんだろうな。はいっす。金払いもいいしちゃんとしてるんだけど、どこの国の人かな。どうしたらいいんだよ。こ
watching this show, by the way. ADV put it out years ago, but I think you can still find it very cheaply on my ad.
Like I saw it on when I was looking for it the other day. It was like $20, 15, 20 bucks, and it's the whole series. I got it for this guy got it for that guy back there for his birthday years ago.
You're a good friend, Sean.
That's debatable.
Well, no, you're good. You bought someone from High, that makes you a good person. Anyways, there's a section early on when Kamiyama debuts in this high school. He's coming up with a plan to be accepted by his peers. He's reading a book with the idea that he gets out of it. It's like you gotta look tough, and you gotta surround yourself with tough people, not take crap from anyone. And he comes to realize that this doesn't just apply to the world of delinquents, but also the real world as well.
And they learn lots of interesting life lessons.
Like this one.
Like, I believe this lesson is,
like how to deal with internet trolls. It's a very popular segment in all of Komori High. We all use the internet. We all have to deal with dumbasses that talk shit and can't back it up because they're nothing but keyboard warriors. This scene will illustrate how to handle those people.
デスコのやつらが一丁の差点に顔出してるぜ。何？あいつら立て続けに俺らのたまり場荒らしてやがる。いや藤本、もう我慢ならねえ。くだらん。あいつらはな、そうやってお前らがあたふたしてるのを見て楽しんでるだけだ。おお、けどよ、おめえらも少しは大人に。何が嵐だ。今日はホームページの更新の日だからそれどころじゃねえっつうのに。おいおい、こんな掲示板で偉そうに語って何様のつもり？お前らの人生で精一杯の自己表現かもな。かっこ笑い。嵐だ。こんな野郎いい度胸してんじゃねえか。俺の島で嵐かますなんさ。あなたが何をしようとしているのか分かりませんが、自分自身が情けないと思いませんか？あまり嵐に反応しない方がいいですよ。嵐というのは反応を楽しむ人たちです。もし不快なら黙って削除してしまいましょう。コミュニティの大御所サトリンさんからこんな指摘を受けるとは。サトリンさんへお言葉ですが、黙って削除してしまうのは私の主義に反します。たとえ冷やかしといえどちゃんと言い聞かせてやるのが最良の手段だと思うのですが、サトリンさんとは揉めたくないが、こればっかりは俺のやり方でやらせてもらうぜ。おいおい、おめえら仲間割れかよ。かっこ笑い。この野郎なめやがって。
おめえらさっきからうぜえんだよ。
この野郎にだけは一言言わなきゃ気が済まねえ。あなたはネチケットという言葉をご存知ですか？つうか、自作自演で掲示板盛り上げてると虚しくないの？寝ぼけたこと言ってんじゃねえ。あなたが何を思ってホームページを自作自演と言っているのか分かりませんが。いや
ー、バカをからかってると面白いな。じゃあ、とどめの煽りを入れてやろうかな。
何かちょっと当たってるような気がする。まるで俺の部屋の中を覗かれてるようだ。
今日は気分がいいな。
やつぜ、俺は無力だ。奴への反撃する方法が見つからねえ。
アキバも最近素人が増えたな。自殺パソコンもできない人は来ないでほしい。いた。
反撃の言葉が見つからねえ。
Condone violence against internet trolls, but we want you guys to commit violence against internet trolls. Komori High, pretty badass series. You guys should check it out if you haven't. It's a lot of fun.
Look at all those manly dudes right there.
Yeah, that's a nice collection of men right there, ladies.
Freddy's in the middle.
Alright, now we're going to go to Chi-Town and get some heat with the original Second City Saint. You guys ready for some cool action?
Yeah. The best thing I learned from community high school is when to change my bath mat.
Alright, we're done talking to you. Go on.
Go, yeah!
まさか見つかってこうまで追い詰められるとは思わなかったわ。
女か。
夕べの伏線の張り方は見事だったでしょ。
何言ってやる。やっぱりお前ら投資郎だよ。道を塞ぐのに使ったトレーラーをそのまま逃走用に使うとはな。
見つけたのは偶然でしょ。金は全部他の車に隠したわ。私を殺してもあなたより先にサツが見つけてしまうだけよ。 どう？取引しない？あなたの車とこっちの人質がいればメキシコまで抜けられるわ。
あなたは運び賃として50万ドルを受け取る。逃げたいんだったら全て私が世話をするわ。
どう？
俺が望むのは200万ドルと人質、それとお前らの命、全部だ。
Alright, so we got Riding Bean, straight out of Chicago. If anyone's from Chicago, this guy's a hero.
This one takes place in America!
In the 80s, no less, to create his decade in human existence, by the way. Riding Bean is a mercenary for hire, or rather a road buster. He'll pretty much drive anything, anywhere, if the price is right.
You see the transporter?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Anyhow, he works with a girl named Riley that keeps him in check. He's kind of a hothead, so he's one that just blows stuff up and go in guns a-blazing, but they're trying to make money, so she's keeping him in line so that continues to happen. But really, if you cross paths with Riding Bean, you better pray that your sorry ass doesn't get smoked. But he has some issues. For example, he has a hard time waking up. She tries waking him up with a taser in the morning. Doesn't work. Frying pan, however, does, right to the face.
And to be honest, it wasn't the pain from the frying pan, it's that he smelled eggs.
Anyways, there's something really important to be said about Riding Bean. He is kind of a scoundrel and a hothead, but he is a good person at heart. He does want to do really good things by people. And one of the things that Riley tells this person that they're trying to rescue is that Bean, in order to do that, in order to motivate himself, tries to watch at least 2 movies a week with heroic things in them. It comes down to what pretty much the anime spirit's all about.
Yeah, you can substitute any of those 2 movies for any of the 2 animes that we've mentioned.
Like, yeah, you can watch, like, you know, Cromartie High and Rainbow, or Fist of North Star Berserk, and you will automatically become a better person by doing so.
That is a medical fact.
Yes. Proven by doctors.
Proven by doctors and shit.
7 out of 7 agree. But anyways, you should probably hit the play button on this. I don't know why it's working.
大体ビーンがカメラに撮られるのがいけないんじゃないの？
しょうがねえだろうが、道が塞がっててそこしか通れなかったんだからよ。
乗り越えればよかったじゃない。
ビッグリグが道を塞いでたんだよ。
何よそれ。
大型トレーラーだよ、18輪の。
Right now they're
完全に
arguing
塞いでたん
about
だ。
money and losing their pride, life,
ねえ、それひょっとして犯人の仲間じゃ。
今考えれば当然だわな。
どんなトラック？
確かスカニアだったかな。色は赤で、あれだ、ああいう感じのやつ。箱もあんな色で腹こっちに向けて、そこにパトカーがなんかあのトラックだ。何？やべえ。今言ってたやつだ。有名なトラック。
やったろ。
Alright, watch this part very carefully. It's not about what this thing, what the bandit is about to do.
俺をはめた罪は話が出ることを覚えて、ミンチになるまで引き潰してやる。
冷静に頼むわよ。燃えるのは結構だけど、200万ドルを廃棄してしまうことがないです。
分かってるって。取るもんは全部取り上げてやるや。お宝は箱の中のはずだ。ジョイントを外せ。
ちょっと。
Alright, he's getting out of his car. Remember, 2 man on number 7. This could be a problem. Alright. So moving on, so you guys got what that video was trying to portray, right? Who's been a long time attendee of this panel? Yeah! Jill, who do you remember True Man Law number 7? Alright, come on. Who's someone who remembers the man laws? Kago, come up here. Kago. What is True Man Law number 7?
A real man never lets a woman drive. And Unless he's going to do something awesome like shooting a laser cannon off the car.
Alright, in that case, he gets out of the car so he can take down these bad guys, but he doesn't let the woman drive, and right before the grenades come at him, he gets back in the car and keeps driving, that way they don't blow up. That's the point we're trying to convey of how badass Bean Bandit is.
In Raleigh's defense though, that character's name is Raleigh. She can drive a car. Yes.
She can. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that a little bit. Shut up, Shane. You're not a panelist. Yeah. It's not that you want to cross. The reason that he's after these guys, is because they framed him for a kidnapping, took the ransom money, which is $2 million, and they're trying to split. He's like, oh hell no! I'm gonna find you guys, kill you, and take the money myself. All right, moving right along. So he finds them, and bad times are coming for these guys.
分かった。あんたからは逃げられない。100万出すわ。東京にさえ家が建つ額よ。110万。いや、120万。これ以上争ってもあんたには得はないでしょ。そのまま動くな。ナイフを捨てろ。
身内が人質になると思ってるのか。
なるわね。あんたの場合は敵か味方かじゃなくガキかどうかよ。ビンバンディット、あんたについてはいろいろと調べさせてもらったわ。まさにモンスターだわ。
そう分かった時にプランを変えるべきだったな。
いいえ、あんたには重大な欠点があった。ガキに甘いってこと。そうして止まっているのが証拠よ。さあ。バカ。
Alright, go on ahead. Right. So he just survived a shot right to the head.
He didn't, right. He took a bullet to the head and it just knocked him out, and he still continued to kick people's ass.
Not bad, not bad. That's Bean Bandit. The other thing that another important lesson about riding Bean is that you never mess or disrespect a man's car.
話は後だ。とにかくこの小汚い車から降りろ。なんだと？今なんて言った？このポンコツからさっさと降りろっつったんだよ。下品な車に乗りやがって。
You just spit on a man's car. You don't do that.
早くしろ！何ベルト締めてんだ。ベルト締めろ。早くしろって。なめるな。防弾かよ。この腐れ。
That was awesome, right? Alright, so Running Bean was supposed to be many episodes, but ended up getting canceled after the first one. It came out in the late 80s, so the 80s were one, I know, boo. The 80s were winding down, so Japan had to tone it down a bit, but Bean Bandit shows up later in a manga series called Gunsmith Cats.
None other than Raleigh, who's a badass.
Yeah, so a pretty good manga series. Recommend Riding Bean, but also Gunsmith Cats as well.
Yeah, you get two badasses for one. You get one badass for Manime Panel, and you get a badass woman who complements him perfectly.
Yes, we like ladies that kick ass, right, guys? Awesome. All right, so that takes care of our Manime class of 2014, but we must go to a dark place.
I gotta sit down for
All right, so the point that we're trying to get to here is that not all manly anime is good. Some of it is absolutely terrible and irredeemable.
Hold on, before we go on, John Luis, this is your fault, just so you know.
Actually, it's Anime Weekend Atlanta's fault.
Okay. Continue.
Alright, we're gonna do this. You guys ready? Yeah. We're actually gonna tone this down because it's not an 18+ panel, but goddamn, this is a fucked up series that we're gonna cover.
Please stand correct.
またあったな、ゴキブリの大将。何？だがここから先は通れんぞ。みんな飛び抜かできな。
This has been requested a bunch.
So we had to talk about it. I figured why not go out with a bang and talk about this really fucked up series. And some moments, like we just showcased, but man, it is a mess. It's actually originally part of the manga video Holy Trinity of Suck, as mentioned by Daryl Surratt, which includes Angel Cop and a favorite of ours called Mad Bull 34. I don't know what Daryl was talking about. Mad Bull 34 is awesome, but Miles Jack not so much. But this comes from one of our favorite guys, Uncle Go. Manga's dirty uncle.
For some reason this year, like Sakigake, Tokujuku, and Go Nagai got brought up a ton.
And many panels this year, so pretty good AFO panel lineup. And when you hear about Go Nagai, almost every single one.
Who knows what magical girls are? Everyone. This guy invented magical girls, and this is the other stuff that he makes.
Yeah.
Not even kidding.
There's not enough people that know about Go Nagai, but they know who Masashi Kishimoto and that Taoist jack off who created bleaches. That's bullshit.
Alright, so...
But anyways, Jack, he's kind of a mountain of a man, as you can see. He has a big-ass knife that might be the size of Guts' sword from Berserk.
He might technically not even be... He's a big mountain of hatred. When he gets the scent of blood, he goes berserk and turns into a monster, similar to like Devilman, which he's actually mildly connected to, and a lot of other Go Nagai, like weird sadomasochist stuff.
So this is a post-apocalyptic setting. Japan has been devastated by an earthquake or hit by a comet, depending on which episode you're watching. But from this, everything goes crazy. If you see Fist of North Star, you know where it's going. You have gangs, bikers, people with mohawks and mullets, causing all sorts of carnage. People are being hung.
Every episode.
People are being hung. People are having their heads chainsawed.
Oh my god!
I love that chainsaw
They're lucky if they're hung.
Their kids are getting killed, or are being kidnapped and sent out to be raped or sold as sex slaves.
Yeah,
it's a pretty messed up world.
If you're squeamish, don't. Just don't.
It's brutal. you might want to turn off the lights for this, just to give indication of how fucked up this series is and how brutal it is. Play the clip, Shane. Alright, so they go for a lot of shock factor in this particular OVA.
And honestly, that is nowhere near as bad as this.
This is also the kind of world that if you eat your transgender lover, you'll turn into a big red demon monster thing. For no reason, just because.
It's not even like it matters, because, you know.
Because gonna die. Anyways.
No, that's what you're seeing. That's what happened.
Yeah, but violence check, you don't give a fuck if people do wrong. If people do wrong, he's gonna kill your ass. That's just how it works in the series. He's pretty impervious to pain, as we can see in this clip right here. It's actually a pretty sweet clip. This guy's